You know what, friends? I get asked every single day. My friend saw me, are you going to capitulate now that the corrupt SEC is going after PulseChain?
Dep, you're down 95%. Have you ever considered selling?
No, I can't. That's a... no.
That's exactly what we are talking about. Baby dolls, baby cakes, and blueberry pies. We are not going anywhere. You understand? I'm going to borrow this from a good friend of the channel, okay? Mr. Crypto 7. Now, Mr. Crypto 7 has been figuring out that this AI is not who he seems. Or is it? Mr. Crypto 7 has said the corrupt SEC, it's now a case of the boy who cried wolf. And it's very true. They've diluted their power. When the corrupt SEC went after Ripple, it was the fear of the unknown. It was like, Ripple's a security. But now they're like, you know what? You're all securities. Do you remember I showed you the video, friends? Gary Guzler, the Seaman Demon, even said tokenized Pikachu cards on the blockchain are securities. We're like, all right, now you're joking. Now you're just stupid. Get out of here. You know what I mean? It's just, now you've just lost all effect. So that's super important to think about, how the market's going to interpret it, the cycles, all the fundamentals going on. Are people going to join? I think they are. I think they're just going to keep joining based off the fact that they kind of see PulseChain as FU money. But these are just guesses, man. We have no idea, friends. You know, at the end of the day, we're like, okay, what number are we going to be at when Bitcoin's 80,000? I know we don't want to live in that world, but that's the world we live in. Because if you want to live in the other world, this is Bitcoin Satoshi's vision, by the way. If you want to live in the world where you become irrelevant and no one cares, where you stay down minus 97%, that's not the world you want to live in, okay? The world you want to live in is where people care. People come in to hunt you, okay? Because trust me, ain't nobody coming out for a BSV video to come and defend it, all right? Bitcoin Satoshi's vision. We're coming out for PulseChain, Hex, PulseX, and all the goodies in between. And I want to give you this special friendly reminder. Please, before it's too late, stop everything you're doing, straighten your back, check if your fluffy slippers are on, and make sure you use a separate wallet for cold and hot crypto, okay? You do not put your hot chocolate and your orange juice in the same cup, okay? You don't eat in the bathroom, okay? Therefore, when you do your DGen and your memeing and all the yield farming, put it in another freaking wallet. Do not put it in your cold wallet. I know what you guys do, friends. It breaks my heart every week. Friends who I've known for years, 3, 4, 5 years, they say, man, I got scammed. It was a migration thing, or we clicked here, we clicked there, man. And it upsets me. You know why? Because it's going to keep happening over and over again. Okay, but also it kind of sucks because it's actually really bullish for the crypto industry. Because remember, these scammers only go where people are getting greedy and there's a lot of money to be made. So it's kind of a catch-22 when you think about it. But I mean, look at this. Mr. Iced says, this haunts me every day. So a dude, Mr. Obey Rave, says, I got rugged today for $37,500. This was not a fun experience. I would not recommend. And then Mr. Iced says, what happened? And then Mr. Obey replies, dude, you got rugged too for the same amount. Check Discord. Like, yeah, this is what happens, man. So please, this is what happens. I'm telling you, just one click. All it takes is one click. So please, you go to your little MetaMask, you separate your wallet. You go, okay, this is the cold stuff. I don't touch it. The other stuff, that's the meme and the hot junk. And by the way, even on the meme hot junk, you're still not meant to be going and clicking around. Because look, we know the cycles now, Habib. We know the cycles, friends. We know, like, this is, okay, you know when all the yields for Bitcoin and crypto and everything started appearing, right? They're here for 6 months. What? By the way, they're not here, okay? They're here. This is when they start to get decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that, friends? 5 is a number less than 6. 5 out of, what, 40 months of the cycle? You want to do that percentage? You know how pathetic that is, by the way? There you go, 12.5%. Wow. So 12.5% of the time, the yields are actually decent. What I'm trying to tell you is, when the yields are high, it's because the whole market's going up anyway, and it's the end of the cycle. Do you feel me? Now you feel me, okay? Please, with consent, friends. Of course, all the forms are signed. So Once the yields are getting good and everybody's drunk on the euphoria, like, oh, wow, I'm getting 12% yield on my staked Ethereum. Oh my gosh, it's time to get out. Now, it's not time to exactly click out, but you're like, uh-oh, in the next 90 to 100 days, I'm out. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's cool, right? Not really, because once people start doing the yield, what we do is we go, okay, I've got, some people have like, they have $300,000 in somewhere, and they go, wow, I'm getting 20% yield, right? And they do 20% yield on $300,000 in a coin is 60 grand a year. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm earning $1,000 a week. I never have to work again. But what happens is that 300,000 in the bear market crashes back to 100,000, and that yield of 20% crashes to like 4%. So now they're earning 4% on 100,000, which is only $76 a week. You see this? They thought they were getting 1,100. Then a few months later, it's down to $76. And by the way, it's all over for the next 3.5 years. Not even making up. 3.5 years. Like it's actually over for, there you go, 1,000 days. So this is the super important point. So yes, separate your wallets. Don't eat in the bathroom. Don't poop in the kitchen unless it's an emergency. But even then, the yields that we think we're chasing, they're so short term. It's like, oh, wow, you think you're going to grab 30% yield, right? Because you assume you're going to do it for the whole 12 months. But historically, what actually happens is you only grab it for the next 6. You're like, oh, wow, I actually made like 12% and then all went to 0. That's how much you actually realized. Also, you got to realize that you are my friend. That's why you do enjoy clicking the like, subscribe, belly button and all, and you shock that algorithm. This is a family-friendly show. And that's why sometimes we have to venture into places that are non-family friendly, like 4chan, but I'm going to present information to you in a very friendly way. So 4chan went really hard against Bankless for how they approached ChainLINK. So this is just something I'm interjecting here. I found it really weird that I never heard of any ChainLINK information on Bankless or an Ethereum Maxi Chain. Now, I just want you to know, okay, so Ryan has me blocked. David doesn't. David plays Dark Souls. So I think he's pretty open-minded. I think David. I think Ryan is as well. It's just that Ethereum Maxi's friends, Ethereum guys, they're very smart. They're very hardworking. Vitalik's a genius, very neutral. But they're very sensitive to one thing. Okay, they don't like fighting, right? They're very neutral. If you even try to spar them, they break down completely. They don't like fighting. They have to sit in the middle, and they just completely like have a total shutdown. And even if saying the language, so I remember I said something to Mr. Ryan here. If you're listening, shout out. I love your channel, by the way. I'm subscribed, belly button and all there. Just wanted to let you know. So in the PulseChain issue, I said, hey, Ryan, stop dividing the crypto community. We're here against the corrupt SEC. Start uniting us, because what you're doing is dividing. Okay, we got to come together. Blocked me. Bang. And I was like, wow, that's a bit sensitive. Come on, man. But so I want you to know, friends. So why is it like this? The answer is, you know the answer. The answer is they bought Ethereum really cheap with their whole salary, and now they just don't give a damn. That's it. Okay. Now I bought Ethereum at $180, but they've been buying Ethereum since like the beginning, and like their whole salary, like, probably 50K, 60K, just DCAing the whole way. They've killed it. You know what I mean? They've absolutely killed it, making millions of dollars on Bankless. So they don't really need to care. They get to stay on the island in the middle. So I just want you to understand perspective. It's not about, the winning and then the losing and then the up and the down. I just want you to know everything's a game, okay? Everything's a game, and it's all a cycle, and there's a story, all right? It's not just like any game, okay? Yes, you think it's not just black and white. Okay, there is a winner and there is a loser here. There's a story. There's things that progress. There's things that change. Remember, people who start off in the young and progressive eventually go towards the center, and then they become the conservative, the calcified, the hardened ones. So don't think there's a gospel for everything, because if you have a smaller clip size, which I guess is less than like 30K, you have to take more and more risk. So even though we can find opinions that we love and respect, you got to remember it's not the be all and end all when it comes to all these new ecosystems. So that's why it might even confuse you. For example, Solana is talked about very positively on Bankless channel. There's many searches up for Solana, but they don't talk about much about Link. Now, we don't know why. Some rumors were like, well, it's a stinky Link frogs, etc., etc. And I mean, this is the revelations here from Sergey Nazarov, obviously founder of ChainLINK, just mentions that ChainLINK's helping to bring quadrillions of dollars in there, literally tokenizing the stock market and everything that everybody in crypto actually wants. They're putting it on the blockchain. You wonder why this isn't talked about like 30,000 more times in the past few years, but it's not. It is what it is, man. We don't make the rules. That's why we're here with the power of our voice, the power of the internet. We're here to change things for the better. And this is Sergey talking about just his early beginnings in the blockchain industry. That's why there's always rumors that he is Satoshi Nakamoto.
I've been in the blockchain industry since 2010, back when it was called the Bitcoin industry, because Bitcoin was the only blockchain at that time.
See what I mean? So he's been around a long time. Just like there's so many rumors, friends. They registered smartcontracts.com in 2008 when Bitcoin white paper was released. Explain to me that. How the hell did you make smartcontracts.com even a thing? And now it redirects to ChainLINK, by the way, around the Bitcoin white paper. We're not as early as we think, but also these people that we're like riding the coattails of, these people are true visionaries, friends. I thought I could see the future. No, I'm just a peanut brain. Okay, these people can actually see the future. They are making the future. And that's why here I am to mention Big Macs must be delivered in real time thanks to a future Oracle network that we're going to use, and that's going to be great. And I'm going to show you this message because this picture is going to evoke a lot of emotions, but not the emotions you think, okay? So I'm mentioning this photo feels differently now. Now, friends, I'm not kidding. I was actually drinking orange juice on the couch and I was with people socializing. I did not have time to explain this message. And when I did, some nice Christian gentleman's like, you are now doing the show business type of posts, are you? I'm like, no, bro, just chill out. Let me enjoy my orange juice for once. So I mentioned the photo feels differently now. It's BitBoy with Layah. And why does it feel differently? No, it's got nothing to do with relationship. It's because two popular characters, okay? Layah came in as like a red pill female Bitcoin maxi, now being more open-minded, talking about other coins, and the Bitcoin maxi is just throwing it on the bus. But if you watch my channel, you know exactly. I was like, oh, that's of course as expected. Because in Bitcoin, it's a sin, by the way, just to let you know, this is true. You're not even allowed to use the word crypto, okay? Crypto refers to non-Bitcoin. So it is literally sin. You are calling on Lucifer himself to poison and toxify everybody, okay? You can't use the word crypto, okay? It's Bitcoin and there's everything else. That's how they think. And I love the cult. They move words around. They have their own religious priests in the temples. There's a lot to learn about that. So people laugh at that. Like, no, bro, you can't laugh. Bitcoin does nothing and it hasn't gone to zero yet, Habib. Bitcoin literally does nothing. It is digital rock. It is not cash. It is not payments. It doesn't even have smart contracts. And look, it's still going up. So clearly the cult has been able to do something really good. And I like it. But also, don't forget, they switched. So everybody starts in Bitcoin. Different characters form. And I want you to know, friends, you got to watch a lot of these characters. Why? It's because they'll tell you what the consensus portfolio is so you can see the future. That's why I love crypto, because we don't have the government debasing currency and the scam repo money coming in to force the Ponzi up like they do in stock market. We don't have that. So we have a more natural, still manipulated type of price flow and cycle, cyclicality, right? So when the main characters speak about portfolios and stuff, we have to listen because they are consensus, okay? And trust me, you go watch my videos. I know you have, okay? Consensus blows ass. You get nothing out of it. Consensus is really dangerous, okay? So that's why we're going to watch it. We're going to pay attention. Otherwise, you lose your mind, okay? This is going to be very fun. War stories. So this is a scheduled post from May 2022. I'm like, wow, a blast from the past, a scheduled post. So what I'll do, friends, I'll leave Easter eggs for everybody. So when an event happens in a day, okay, I will then schedule out the message. I'll go, this event happened to today, and I'll diary it, and I'll send it out 12 or 18 months from now. I'm like, hey, let's come and look back and enjoy it. So this is what I did, okay? This was, I'm not joking, this was the entire Twitter timeline, okay? We were crashing. Luna was crashing. Everything was dead. It was just destruction, okay? Ansem, okay, was losing his mind. He was typing in capital letters all day. He goes, B left me, and I'm glad she did. Noah B testing B. You know what I mean? And then here we have Shardy B. I think he's just like a leverage trade Schiller girl or guy. I don't know what it is. Just saying this, hey, let's blow this out, by the way. This was the top right before destruction. And then you have Ansem again tweeting all these lyrics. I don't know what. Counting up my bodies. Damn things start to pile. This was literally Twitter. This was all day, friends. Like, everybody had lost their mind. If there was a zombie apocalypse, I'm sure there will be one day, right? It was literally this. It was the end of times. Nobody had a rational thought. Banteg was following, Degen Spartan. They were literally looking at cartoon naked girls, and this is literally all of Twitter. That was like the information for the day. You didn't have any. There was nothing going. This was like, whoa, the industry's finished. Okay. Ansem tweeting lyrics. He was cultural anime posts, if you know what I mean. The naked ladies, the cartoon ladies with Degen Spartan. Okay, this was ridiculous. Okay? A very brutal bear market. This is what happens. This is, unfortunately, next time we see these, this is just the beginning of the bear. It's anger phase. See this? This is how people losing their minds here. This is a completely different part of the cycle. And as you can see, it was actually right here. So this is the May part. You see that? We'll start. See, I know it doesn't look like much on like the monthly, but I guess if you go down on a day and we go back, this is what it was actually like. We can go back. We can find that May period. It was like just freaking dead. You know, that was it. Everybody had just lost their minds. It was actually right here, you know, and the worst was yet to come. Right? This giant wick was about to get closed down and it was just finished. That was the nail in the coffin for everybody. So as, you know, as interesting as it is, there's still a lot to learn, right? So where were we there? Anger. Okay. Some people handle this anger. They just literally lose the plot. So people who aren't violent, I've noticed in the anger phase, it's literally like a full moon. Like people start howling, people go nuts. I remember, oh my God, there were people who were losing money and then they were typing like, yes, I feel alive, yes. And I was like, oh my God, it's over for us. It's over. It was just so depressed. So that was what was going on. And then, you know, I get asked, my friends, why pay so much attention to what other people are doing here? I go, because why? You see this cyclicality, friends, see actually this part up here. I want to believe it's still repeating. You understand that? So we have to look, so point along the way. I want to see people's emotions here. Is it consistent with what you would expect to happen if it was all repeating? Because honestly, this is the only edge we have. The only edge we have is that crypto is like pure with people's emotions. Is everything going according to plan, right? Because that's what you want to know. Is the industry dead? Is it actually dead? Or is it just happening before? And it did happen before, okay? You had this anger period and that turned into depression. Remember, depression was my retirement money is lost, okay? That's literally everybody realizing, oh my gosh, we've invested in a crypto industry and it's worth nothing. It is completely over. So this is what we like to see. That's why we're hoping now. We're in the hope and disbelief part. I'm praying towards the end of 2024, we enter optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria. I know that's what we're all waiting for. Do you remember when I showed you the 6 screen monthly candles for Bitcoin? Yeah, that's this part. That's literally everybody's playing for those just 5 to 6 months. So when are those 5 to 6 months coming? Everyone wants to know. We don't know. Let's just take it as it comes. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell mom and dad we love and appreciate them. And remember, we are nowhere near the anger or depression phase. We are pushing on. Let's see how far we take it. Catch you in the next one.